my friends, welcome to the metal shop, part 2, the Jerry Cantrell Telecaster replica that I'm building here. As you can see, we've progressed quite a bit further from last time. Sorry, it kind of went fast and furious this past week. I did get a little bit of footage, not as much as I would have liked, as to how we got here. So unfortunately, you're stuck with just me talking about it a little bit. I got the Kahler route done with my friend's Bridgeport mill. Got a little bit of footage of that will follow this immediately. Really nice. Bridgeport mill makes this really nice, setting your depth and your parameters, and it goes, nice and slow if you want it to, and it just does a really nice clean job. I had a little bit of chipping, not a big deal. I opened this hole up. This probably was set up for a, an Asian made part, not a good switchcraft part. So I opened this up. I had a little chipping. Again, you're not going to see this. Had it to do over again, I'd probably score these edges pretty good, just to not get the chipping, to get it nice and clean. Anyway, see the pickup nice and filled, body worked with automotive filler, block sanded. My buddy primed it with automotive grade primer, and again, he was actually pretty smart. He only spot primed it in areas where it needed. He's like, you got a lot of finish on this guitar already. He said, I don't think we really need to cover the whole thing in primer, just the areas that we worked on. So here where the 5-way switch was block sanded and primed and block sanded, primed and block sanded. You don't feel it. You're not going to see this is the hope. Got just a touch of primer in there. I wish I'd said something to him about getting some more primer there where it they sanded through. That's how the guitar came. And here on the back side, a little schmutz there, but again, feels mint. You're never gonna see those holes that I plugged. So anyway, I'll give you include a little bit of the footage there of the router that we used there. I can't even think of it. Bridgeport mill. Man, brain cramp. Hate that. A little bit of footage of the Bridgeport mill. A little bit of footage of the body work in process that we did there. And next up, we are going to hang this in the metal shop basement of the metal shop, and get this thing painted vintage white. So on to that footage. Switch has been body worked. You're all good. This fits like it should. Nice. Very nice. Sorry, hard to film and do the Bridgeport milling yourself. Also, my friend body worked this at his shop today, and it probably took him about 30 seconds. Didn't film it at all. We're gonna get the whole body primed tomorrow. Check out the dirty, nasty, crusty Kahler that goes in there. But this machine really is what you need for precise routing. And no template, just based on the measurements, came out choice. So yeah, awesome. Here's where we're at. Anyway, guitar's been body worked. You saw the little snippet there of me routing out the route for the Kahler here on the Bridgeport mill last night. we're at my friend's body shop. Again, he did this yesterday again. Sorry, no footage of that. I mean, it probably took him like 30 seconds. We are going to, there's the Kahler bodywork the back here too, but he's gonna prime this for me today while I'm at work. He's gonna prime this, sand it, probably prime it again, and I'll do the final coat there. But yeah, get this thing dropped off and join me when it's all primed and ready for paint. Cool. All right, so we got a couple of coats of paint on that nitrocellulose lacquer, special paint for guitars. It's got a certain smell to it. If you have sprayed it before, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, the time lapses of me spraying a coat of the Stewart Mac, the color tone, vintage white on, and it didn't cover as well as I'd hoped. And it says on the can it's opaque, and I should have been aware of that. So I had an old can of Guitar Re-Ranch cream, also the nitrocellulose lacquer that I sprayed on over top of that. And honestly, the Re-Ranch didn't flow as nicely as I'd hoped. The color tone, the Stewart Macdonald paint, actually flowed really nicely. That would be an acceptable top coat. It's really going to be hard to tell, but it's almost eggshell. And the Guitar Re-Ranch stuff I've always had good luck with their products in the past. It is a few years old. I did get, I don't know, it's hard to see there. You can see that beside my hand. I did get a couple of runs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand. They recommend sanding between every 3 or 4 coats. I don't know how many they want you to put on with 320. So I'm going to give this a quick sand. I'm going to paint it one more time with the vintage white, the Stewart Macdonald color tone, and I'm going to call it good. This is a project guitar. Remember, Jerry Cantrell's was all, names were carved in it, painted on it, was all scuffed up around the edges. It was a beat up guitar. It doesn't have to be nice. And unfortunately, tough to see. Yeah, you can see that pickup. Weird, because when it had the gray primer, you couldn't see it, but the white, just for whatever reason, you can see it. Now I know why GMW top coats all their guitars, no matter what. Now this, for the 5-way switch, gone. In the back, just gone. And it's rough back here. I mean, this is really, it's an eggshell and it's in a textured finish. I'm really not thrilled with that. So let's give it a quick sand and back into the basement of the metal shop. Give this one last coat of the vintage white. All right, so here, it's finished product. Painted vintage white. Came out really well. I spent way too much time trying to perfect a paint job that we're just gonna scratch up anyway. You can still see that pickup just a little bit. I mean, if I didn't tell you, you probably wouldn't notice, but I can see it. I know that it's there. So, but overall, came out pretty good. No clear coat. Again, this is gonna get the, the mark fish here, and it's gonna say lane and like who farted and F word something else over here, and there's all kinds of, and it's like completely scuffed and scraped up all along the edges. I think I'm going to do that. I was contemplating using the blue dress girl in those stickers, but she's not meant to go on a Telecaster. Especially if we put a Kahler here, there's no room. If you look, a lot more room on the kind of the butt end of a Stratocaster for that sticker. So yeah, she's not really going to go. So I'm going to have to conclude part 2 with this. This really needs to sit, the nitrocellulose lacquer, like 14 days. They want this to cure. So I brought it in, in the main house where it's nice and warm, and I'm not going to mess with it for the 14 days. I'm not going to clear coat it. Again, this guitar is just going to get beat the hell up. I think that's what we're going to do. So, as always, my friends, thanks for watching. Jerry Cantrell replica Telecaster, part 2. As always, please click subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications. Hit me up in the comments. Still respond to all comments. truly appreciate your support. And next is going to be, we're going to tear apart and restore this Kahler. And there's not a whole lot of videos on YouTube about the Kahler, for obvious reasons, kind of the dodo bird, the Edsel, the whatever of the tremolo world. But that's next, and we'll keep working on this. All right, my friends, thanks again. Take care. Bye-bye. Just a quick postscript. I did end up deciding to leave it hanging here in the metal shop basement. I forgot last time I painted a guitar, and I left it on my workbench upstairs, which has a terry cloth towel on it. The outgassing actually, the terry cloth towel actually stuck to it, and I had to buff a bunch of terry cloth pieces out of it. So I'm going to leave it hanging here so that the air can get to all sides and it can dry properly. So just, it's not as warm as I like down here in the basement as it is the rest of the house, but it's, you know, it's probably low 60 degrees here. So definitely going to be better for drying the nitrocellulose finish. Hang on one second. Also, this is what we ended up using. This color tone guitar lacquer, vintage white from Stewart Macdonald. All right, so thank you for sticking around for the postscript. Ignore the mess back there.